Hi, welcome back to Leslie Crafts. If my phone goes off, it's just my son. But this is what we're doing today. We're just doing some embellishments. I just thought I'd turn my camera on while I'm doing them. This is for a swap I am doing, and I'm doing it in the Care Bear theme. So I've just literally punched out some jars, some in pink cardstock, and then I've just done them in random papers, and then I've just got little bits and pieces everywhere else. So yeah, so I just thought I'll come on and just sort of do a craft with me video. So my son has just smashed his phone case and or his phone screen, and yeah, so but yeah, so we're all going to be the same sayings, which is my friend. So the lady who's receiving them can just pop them onto cards or Happy Mail, and it's a generic saying. So just thought it's easier than specifically saying my birthday or things like that. So but all roughly going to be the same, but you sort of, I don't know, don't send the same embellishment to the same person, do you? So just will be slightly different, just where the placement of flowers and everything else is and things like that. So yeah, so once that's a little bit more dry, I'll stick the gems on it. But that is what we're doing. So yeah, so quite repetitive, but you know, it's one of those things which I quite like making embellishments. It's, you know, and I've looked through my dies, and I've picked out, I've got a bow die and a small book die, which I'm going to make some more embellishments with. So, and again, you know, I'll just have one saying on the book, you know, and I've put the word closer to one end, so I could overlap it and everything else with it. So like I say, they're mainly going to be roughly the same, you know, same things on here. So different little Care Bears. I've done the Care Bears, instead of doing like 3-4 different Care Bears, I've just picked one Care Bear and I've gone with that, which is a Cheer Bear. And if you've been, I think this might come out after I've done it, I've got a couple of card kits with Cheer Bear. You make at least 2 cards, but you can make more. as well. So yeah. So I've got a couple of feedback from people who've got the kits, like the little mini card kits, and they've said they're really well put together and everything else, so which is quite good. After I finish doing this swap, I'm not necessarily going to be doing the Care Bears again for a bit, and if I do, I've got everything. So I'm just wondering if it's worth selling like my scraps. There's like some pre-made envelopes in there and stuff. You've got like full-size papers in there and stuff. I don't know, it's just an idea. So because again, you know, I'm sure that I'll be printing off more papers, purely so I've got like papers for the backings and stuff like that. If it's something which you might consider, I think it would be £5, but it'd be like £5 P&P because the size and the weight and stuff like that. So it'd be like £10 all in, which I don't think is too bad, because you still be able to make lots of things with it. And there'll be like all the leftover ephemera in there and bits and pieces and stuff like that. So, you know. I'm just going to have a look to see if I can change repair on that one, yeah. So if people were interested in that, I would obviously do a video to showing exactly what you get. And I don't think it'd be any more than £5, but it'd be like £5 P&P, so it'd be like £10 all in. So, and obviously, you know, if I sold it all individually, it'd be way more than that. But you could use your punches and all sorts to, you know, do stuff with. So I know when I'm doing it, and I know when I do the what you call it, the bows and stuff. It'll be like, oh, don't have the right paper, I need to print off some more paper and stuff like that. So there'll be other sheets of paper and stuff. But no, I really do enjoy making embellishments. I know I've said that before, but I find it quite therapeutic. I've got so many punches and everything else, and it's like, to be honest with you, you know, why shouldn't I make some? I don't know if to make some and put them in my shop, or you know. And I know that I can't compete with places like Hobbycraft and things like that. I would have to, you know, price is the price really. Yes, I could, you know, do it all on my Cricut and everything else, but I quite like putting it together and things like that, so I like doing it that way. But yeah, I think the lowest I could go really would be like $3.50 per pack of embellishments. And then again, you know, you've got your postage on top of there. So but yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know whether or not my embellishments are worth it. I look at other people's and I feel like I'm unworthy, and I know that's wrong. I know I am. I love me and all that, but I think some days you just feel like it's like, why do I do this? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just having one of those times. So I'm not too worried about the glue, because the glue will just rub off once it's dry. So yeah. So yeah. So see, I always stick it on the wrong bit. On the wrong side of his, doesn't matter how many times. You would think I would know by now, really. Which side I'm supposed to be sticking down. try and have a group. Oops. Just like so. I'll put it in there so I can go things. So now these, yeah, and you'll get like random bits of punched out stuff as well. And then, oops. And then we'll just put these, and again, because it's Cheer Bear, it's sort of got the rainbow feature on her, him, her, him, whichever sex you want to give the bear. So I'm trying to get into craft fairs as well, be more locally. But the only problem is you send emails off and nobody gets back to you. And it's like, do you do a follow-up email, or do you just hope and pray, or do you just give up? I'll show you these once they're done. So I know that these will get squashed in transit, just the way the nature is, but you know, you can put them back up again, that's not an issue. Obviously some of these will have to be the bigger jams because I've run out of small ones. So that is my 6 little jars of my friend. So, and then I would this one might be better. Get rid of the stuff in there. And then I need my cutting thing. Technical one. I think that's a 6x6, so just gonna grab one of these. Just gonna do 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, like so. So put that back in there. Oh, I've got two of them. I'll do for my next one. Make sure that fits okay. Yep. And then what I'm just going to do is just going to grab some tape. I'm going to see how many will fit. I've got a funny feeling I can only get 5 on here. Oh, I can get 4. Do you reckon 4 is going to be enough? No, 3 lots of it, yeah. I'm just going to grab some tape. Like so, peel it up, put that on there. On there, on there. On there. Now I can just pop it into that bag. Now I have been making bag toppers for them, so no exception. But I've just been putting tape on it. And then I'm just going to grab another one. This one's going to be 6 inches by 4. Fold this one in half. Okay, and then we're going to have one of these on here, which you can still use, so you know, so you know, so yeah, it's about it. My little bag of embellishments with a 5th one that you can use, just has to peel it off. So yeah, and then with my last one, I'm going to I think that's going to look quite nice actually. Have that one on there, yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you like my little video, and we will see you again fairly soon. Okay, bye now.